Welcome back to part 2 of the 2-part series on an ingrown toenail affecting a 4th toe. If you haven't seen the first video, watch that one first. It's a video of the actual procedure. Now this video, which is the second one, goes through the procedure in more detail, including a detailed explanation and illustration. Hi, I'm Stephen Thomas. I'm a podiatrist, which is a foot and ankle specialist, and I'm based in the Harley Street medical district of central London. I make free videos to help as many people around the world as possible with foot and ankle healthcare. If you'd like to help me with my mission, please share the video with anyone you think it could help. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it. You can subscribe to the channel if you'd like to keep up to date. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'll get back to you, and I may even make a video based on your question so that we can help many other people. So let's get to part 2 of an ingrown toenail on a 4th toe. So this patient developed the problem after a long walk in hot weather. They believe they cut the nail badly on the run-up to this hike, and it's one of those classic causes that can cause ingrown toenails. When you look at the toe, you can see there's an ingrown toenail to the medial side of the right 4th toe. There's some scabbing over the wound, and there's a lot of swelling at the proximal medial aspect of the nail. The patient admittedly has been prodding and trying to find what the underlying cause has been, so some of this swelling has been coming from the patient trying to fix the problem. The patient had been hiking in the hot sun, causing their feet to sweat, and of course as the feet gets moist, the skin becomes a bit softer. When you combine that with the jagged edge of nail and the mechanical activities and friction on this area, the nail then has been soaring into the side of the skin. Starting with the procedure, the toe is first cleaned before the local anaesthetic injection is carried out. Local anaesthetic is administered to both sides of this toe, so one on the lateral side and one on the medial side. Usually I find the smaller toes tend to become numb very quickly, and they generally don't need as much local anaesthetic. And then while we're waiting for the toe to go numb, we then clean the toe again and the surrounding toes. Before we begin with the procedure, we just make sure that the toe is nice and numb. So you can see on the video, I was prodding and pressing all around this area to make sure that it was perfectly numb before I start digging into the area. The scabbing is then carefully removed from the wound. The scabbing was removed because the scabbing obstructs the vision of the wound, and it also reduces the flexibility of the skin. So removing this, you can have a good look around and explore everything in more detail. When I put the black file down the side here, I put it under the nail in the corner just to get a good view. The nail looks something like, you know, it goes deep down there, and there's almost like a jagged edge that's kind of, it's not that sharp, but it has a little bit of a square edge on it down there. As with most ingrown toenails, you don't always know what you're going to find until you start looking inside the area. On examination, you can see that the nail is being cut back, but there's a jagged edge of nail in the way, and this combined with the hiking has sawn its way into the side of the skin. Now that we can understand what's the cause of this ingrown toenail, we can then think about what ways we can fix it. In this case, it's just a jagged edge of nail, so we just need to trim away any sharp edges of nail and file it nice and smooth. So I use nail clippers to cut down this side here, and I cut just almost like a straight line and remove this section of nail. When I think I've removed all of the nail from the area, I use the blacks file again, and I come down into the corner here, just make sure there's nothing jagged or spiky down here, have a good feel around that there's nothing else that could be causing the issue, and then I file the edge nice and smoothly until this area is completely smooth. The wound area was inspected and then flushed out with saline solution, which is basically a sterile salty water. Just before putting some dressing on the toe, a small amount of Jelonet was then placed between the existing nail and the wound. For anyone wondering what Jelonet is, it basically comes in packs a bit like this. They do come in different sizes. It's a non-adherent dressing, so it doesn't stick to anything. And by placing it down the side, it acts almost like a cushion and a barrier to separate the wound side, which is down here where the nail's been cutting into the skin, and the existing nail down here. When you place it on a wound, it stops anything sticking to it, and in this case it's acting as a barrier between the wound and the existing part of nail. If you put this in the area, it will reduce the chances of the nail rubbing against the wound, because if this happens, the wound will then have a delayed healing time. Once the Jelonet is nicely in place and I'm happy with it, I then just quickly put the dressing on, which in this case I used a small Mepore. I hope you found that video useful and you enjoyed the 2 videos of this 2-part series of videos for an ingrown toenail on a 4th toe. If you'd like to help me with my mission on helping as many people around the world with foot and ankle healthcare, please share the video with anyone you think it could help. You can give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you'd like to keep up to date, and pop any questions you have down in the comments below and I'll get back to you, and I may even make a video based on your question so that we can help many other people. Thank you very much.